The divine appointment. Well, today I had some things to do locally, and there's never traffic in this part of town at this part of day, but turns out there was. And I missed an appointment, which got solved, but in the end, I had an appointment somewhere else. God is so beautiful, and I had to make a stop off after I had a meeting to pick something up for work, right? So I stop off. I don't know what I need because I'm looking for this thing, and I'm at the Hob of Lobs at this moment in the day. And the Hobby Lobby, if you don't know what that is. And at the fabric aisle, I stop, and there's a scroll of the Last Supper. You were about to tell me something, aren't you? Well, I stop in the embroidery aisle because I'm looking for something, but then I see really beautiful embroidery, and I used to do a lot of embroidery, and I'm a great seamstress with my hands. I don't use sewing machines. But embroidery today is a different tool, and I looked at the back. I don't have that tool, so I have to go find someone. There's no tool. So I find this little lady, and her name is Joyce, right? Well, Joyce is from another generation, and she's so sweet and kind and helpful. And we're talking, and I'm just telling her I'm looking for something to just do and be, because God's been telling me to rest, and telling her I'm a local pastor, and, we're talking about we know the same place. I'm like, we're having this little conversation. And she begins to tell me that she'd love to work in jail ministry. Well, I've worked in jail and prison ministry a whole lot, and I'm going, I'm going to make a call for Miss Joyce. I'm just not going to tell her. And I know where she works now, so I can go back. And if I can open a door for Miss Joyce, I'd open a door. I just don't have to promise things that I don't have control over. But I'm telling her how it's a lot easier than you think. And she's got to wait on that divine appointment. Well, I don't know that she's mine yet. Well, I don't know how we get here, but she's talking about how she turned from God when she was young. She was like, but when I turned back, she was like, when I told you, I don't know what I would do without him. I don't know where I'd be without God. She was like, I don't know how people do it without him. I was like, me either. I was like, I couldn't get in this Hobby Lobby door without him. She laughed. She's like, you know what God's did for me in the past 4 years? She was like, he's given me this peace. She was like, a peace that I can't understand or explain. And she was like, it never leaves me. I'm just so at peace. I smile, take a step back from Miss Joyce, and touch her on the arm, and I'm like, you might not need that jail ministry, Miss Joyce. She don't really understand what I'm saying yet, but she smiles in. Like, you know what I've been praying for, Miss Joyce? I was like, I've been in ministry for 20 years. I'm tired. And when COVID came, it pushed us all out of the building because the doors were shut. And in order to connect to my congregation, I got on social media. I don't even like social media, Miss Joyce. It's like, so here I am, 4 or 5 years later, and I am looking at hundreds of thousands of people, and sometimes it's just a little much, Miss Joyce, and I can handle a building. I don't really always know how to handle it out here, except to say I know I need some rest, and God's telling me to get alone some and rest and be with him some. And I was like, but my prayer lately has been that God would give me back my peace, because I have it, but that peace that never goes anywhere, that thing when people come at you and get in your bubble and are ugly and hateful and mean or biting you or asking you 8,000 different questions that you can't answer, not feasibly, without falling over. So I just, I want that. I want that space where I feel just woosah all the time like I used to. Woosah. Because in the building, it's easy for me. That's bread and butter to me. It's easy. By bread and butter, I mean it's like making toast. It's easy to me. Out here is what the disciples probably would have went through. Is you guys are great, but there's some people that aren't always very nice and very demanding. And if you can't meet that demand, then people don't like you. And you can't meet the demand of 1 million people. Because that's how many eyes see me every day. And Miss Joyce smiles at me, puts her arm on my shoulder this time. And she tells me that tool's missing. So that tool's not here. I picked something up outside of work because I hand embroider, so I'm going to do it that way. But she said, it's funny that the thing that you came for isn't here. But that's okay, because you had an appointment. I think we had a divine appointment here. You had an appointment to be here. And the Lord's going to give you that peace. Wait and see. The Lord's bringing you that peace. Wait and see. I look back at this, the Lord's Supper fabric scroll in front of me, and I'm going, and God's going, yeah, I did that. I'm going, yeah, that was nice. So I made a new friend today. I make friends everywhere. And I leave and looking at my buggy because I've got a couple things I didn't really plan to get. I needed some stuff for work, and I'm always running out of paper and journals, so I went to get that. Looking down and telling God, you know what, God, I should probably pick through this buggy. And he was like, no, you did that as a kid. So that's what you and your mama would do, is pick through that buggy, because it was a lag. He was like, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to go check out. Your peace is coming. It's on the way. And I leave, and I'm telling my daughter, I'm like, my daughter's my assistant. I'm like, man, Emily, like, I can't believe it's 3 o'clock. I'm in the middle of traffic. I left that meeting. I thought I could get in and out of there. I could not. Running across town, and it takes me 20 minutes in the line. It takes me like 20 minutes to get across town, and I don't like to miss appointments. But she ends up talking to my daughter, and she says, I'll see your mama anytime she'll see me today. I was like, man, God, that's nice favors. That's nice. And also, I just love my clients, and they're super great, right? So I get home, and I see her anyway. It ended up being that because I had met with Joyce, I showed up better for that appointment. And even though I missed that appointment, I still didn't miss the one that God had for me. Hear me, okay? Whatever it is that you've been asking for God, it's going to show up. Sometimes it comes out of an obedience that don't make sense. Like, I woke up early today, didn't want to do that. Had somewhere to be, didn't really want to do that. And the Lord told me to go to the Hobby Lobby, and people think obedience is like this weird, crazy thing where you're just chasing the sun. No. Every time God tells me to be somewhere, I get what I need. Every single time. Every time. Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice. Sometimes it doesn't mean run around town. Sometimes you're going to miss an appointment to meet a divine appointment, and then you'll have more divine appointments after that through the day if you're a pastoral counselor, or maybe whatever it is for you that is an appointment in your life. For me, it's just actual appointments. I just want to tell you that story. Stay obedient, and God will keep showing up. He shows up anyway. But when we're obedient, God is so pleased. When we're obedient, God goes over the top. He's like, look, who has a Last Supper fabric? Who wants a dress with Last Supper all over it? Not me. And I'm quirky. I don't want that. I don't want Judas on my boob. That's weird. Like, where does that even, like, it just seems like the Lord's face shouldn't, just like Judas all over you. So that was my day. I hope you guys had a good day. I'm going to get in the bath. I am done with this day, okay? But it was a good one. It was a good day. And the Lord is faithful to provide the things that you're praying for. And He just might send you on an excursion that don't make no sense when you don't even want to embroider and you don't even know what the tool is, and you got to go find someone named Miss Joyce who wants to go into ministry. And you're in ministry. You tell her all your feelings. She counsels you, and you're the counselor. But it always reminds me that at the end of the day, He is the great counselor. I'm just a counselor with a little Z. And I'm just a shepherd with a very tiny S. And He is the good shepherd. And He can take care of you. He's got you. Stay obedient. God will show up.